They don't know their identity. So they cling to everything that the nations probably put in front of them. Ask them who they are, they tell you that they give you a color, they give you a religion. But they never give you the true identity according to the Bible. And no one ever stopped to wonder, man. No one ever stopped to wonder where those names came from. All the scholars we got, all these so-called scholars, people who went to these institutions of higher learning, they never one day stopped to ask where those names came from. Why? Because they're reading the wrong books. Ever learn about never coming to the true knowledge of the Most High? Because what? They're not reading the Bible, man. Hold that person, give me 33 and 6.
You said lack of knowledge of what?
33. Isaiah.
The lack of knowledge of what?
Get a book of the Lord, right?
Oh, 34 and 16. 16 out of the book?
34 and 16, yeah.
Isaiah chapter 34, verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Most High and read. No one of these shall fail.
Right. That's the book that all people should be reading, man. The book of the Most High. What's the book of the Most High in the Quran? Understand it's the Bible, man. Bible which the Most High inspired men to write. Men with the Most High give the inspiration to, his true knowledge to, which he had recorded and passed on from one generation to the next, to this present generation, for our learning. Seek ye out the book of the Lord and read. That's the book we should be seeking to. We should be reading, man. To have wisdom and knowledge of the Heavenly Father. It's not wrong with going to institution of higher learning to get some education to, hey, make some kind of a living to support your family. But as far as wisdom, knowledge, and understanding goes, the book that all people should be reading is the Bible. Right?
None shall want her make, for my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit in it, and his spirit it hath gathered them.
Right. And none shall want her mate. What's it talking about? The prophecies. The prophecies in this Bible, man, shall all come to pass. And the Bible has no equal. There's none comparing. There's not a book in comparison to the Bible. There's the Quran, which is just a watered down version of the Bible, because the Muslims, the Arabs, when they learned the truth from us, they rejected it. And they try to spin their own truth. And they got a lot of people caught up in that madness, man. Islam, Muslim, because enough of our people didn't get caught up into this Christianity, which was something under the concoction by the Romans, which they adopted from the ancient Babylonians and passed on to our people in the different denominations of Christianity all over our community, man. That's how our people are drunk. They're drunk in philosophy, they're drunk in religion, and they're drunk in alcohol.
That's right.
Understand about it, what? They need to come back to the true heritage and get sober up, man. Good morning, Isaiah 1 and 3. Right, because if our people was to read this Bible, they would have known that those names, African Americans, West Indians, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, all those are what they call bywords and proverbs. Names made up by people. You don't find those names in the Bible. And we know this Bible is a history book. It's about people. And if it's talking about people, those people had to be identified. Meaning what? They had to have nationalities. They have to have nation of origins. So when you read this Bible, you read about Israelites. You have to be wondering, if you have any kind of intelligence, you have to be wondering, who are those people? And when they match those history with geography, then you see what? It had to be the so-called Negroes, West Indians, Latinos, Native Indians. The ones who came here before Columbus. The ones who came here and cargo slave ships. As prophesied by the Bible. Isaiah 1 verse 3.
Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the donkey his master's crib.
The ox knoweth his owner, And the donkey his master's crib. Who's the ox? One of the strongest animal, man. Strong but not all that bright. And the donkey is master's crib. Not as strong, but still ain't that bright. But they know they are. And they clung to their own. But we are the people of the Most High. The Most High gave us this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. But what? Because we got alienated from the Heavenly Father, we lost the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So we are mentally, our mental capacity is less than that of an ox or a donkey. We don't know our master's script. We don't know that the Most High, the Heavenly Father, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, He's our Creator, and that He chose Israel as a special people of Himself. We don't know our true heritage. We don't know that we're the descendants of the people who came out of Egypt with Moses, the same people who came from the west coast of Africa. So we go around identify ourselves according to what we were told. Calling ourselves African Americans.
That's right.
Not knowing that we have a further history, man. The land of Israel, our homeland. And instead we just went into Africa and lived there for over 1,000 years to hide from Roman persecution, to fulfill prophecies, because we disobeyed the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. Read it again, huh?
Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the donkey his master's crib. But Israel doeth not know.
What Israel doth not know. All our top scholars were seen on TV all the time. All the so-called preachers. They don't know. The ones who do know, they're paid and told not to tell you. Because if they reveal that to you, certain privileges that were afforded them will be cut off. So what? So people go around walking in gross darkness, man. So that's why the Most High, that's why the Most High sent people as us out there as the servants, man. As his foot soldiers. They have to go into the ghettos and the slums, the byways, and the highways. I understand the bus depots. And the plazas. And all our people, let you know who you are. I know you were told that you're the least. You couldn't find to the ghettos and slums, the last hired, first fired. But we're here to tell you otherwise. That you're the people that the Most High chose as a special people to Himself. But you're going to come back to your heritage. Know that the Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. The Jews that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
Your duty as Israelites is to keep the Most High's commandments. Stop conforming to the ways of America. Stop following their religions. Understand? Because those things are what got you at the bottom of the totem pole in the first place. While people of other nationalities come into your neighborhood and are excelling over you. And you're wondering why. It ain't because they work harder than you. Yeah. It's a curse that the Most High have on you because of your disobedience. Because you refuse to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. You don't even know that today is the Sabbath. Hello? You don't even know that the Sabbath started Friday, sundown, and will end today at sundown, the day of worship. That Israel should honor as a special day, according to the covenant that we made with the Heavenly Father, in recognition of that covenant. Why you're not learning that in church? Because what? First of all, the church flipped the script on us, telling us that Sunday is a day of worship. That's just a day that the Roman Catholic Church came up with, man. That things turned upside down to alienate us from the Most High. Everything that's going on in society is contrary to the laws, statutes, and commandments. Because they know that we're the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. So they were in confusion. So in our everyday life, even when we think we're doing the right thing, we're alienating ourselves from the Most High. Because we're not following the real script, the blueprint, which is the Bible, the commandments of the Bible.
Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the donkey his master's crib. But Israel doeth not know. My people doeth not consider.
Israel don't know. You so-called black man in America, you don't know you're the Jews that the Bible speaks of. Why? Because you were told, and you believe what you were told, that the people in the Middle East are that people, the Jews that the Bible speaks of. And you were told you were African Americans. But check it out. I guarantee them, very few of you know anyone who come from Africa.
That's right.
And if you know them, you wouldn't get along with them. Because you have a totally different spirit. And they don't recognize you or acknowledge you as true Africans. So you got to be wondering, why is that? Because they know that you're not originated from the land. You said Israel, but yet Israel don't not consider. You don't consider who you are. I'm just reading the news just the other day that Oprah Winfrey, she just donated $12 million for a so-called African American museum. And you got Bill Gates and other rich, so-called rich philanthropists donating $10 million to they're trying to raise $500 million. So far they raised like $375 million. So that a museum is going to be built. And they're going to base a museum on some kind of a building from West Africa. So right there, they're trying to implant into our people's mind that we're African Americans. They're perpetuating those lies, further alienating our people from the Most High and our true heritage. Give me Romans 15:4. Get Romans 15:4. Get me also Job 8:8. Understand? So right there, they're further alienating us, hiding our true heritage from us. Man.
That's right.
Planting the seed further in our mind that we're of African descent. Job 8:8.
You want that one first?
Give me Romans 15.
I got both.
Yeah, give me Job 8.
Job chapter 8, verse 8. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to search of their fathers.
Right. You gotta prepare, you gotta inquire of the former age, and prepare yourself for the search of your fathers. You're not gonna get this from our so-called leaders or people we look up to, because they just conform to society, man. They just follow the blueprint of society. Doing, telling you what people in their league, people in the category, financial category, tell them to tell you, which is nothing but lies. So that's why you gotta search things out for yourself. Inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and search for the ways of our fathers, man. That's the Bible. Understand? Read.
Verse 9. For we are but of yesterday, and know nothing.
Right. We are but of yesterday. I mean, our lifespan is so short.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, plus we've been brainwashed, and everything we learn in this age is not. It's just lies, man. It ain't much. So that's why we gotta search for the documentation, which is this Bible right here, because they were written for our learning.
For we are but of yesterday, and know nothing, because our days upon earth are a shadow. Shall not they teach thee and tell thee and utter words out of their heart?
Right. How are we going to do that? Search out the ways of our forefathers, man, the Bible. Men who had a relationship with the Most High, men who prospered in their daily lives because of that relationship that they had with the Most High. They should teach us on other things out of their heart. Because we know whatever they utter out of their heart, the testimonies is in the Bible. We read the Psalms about David and the relationship he had with the Most High. Job, the relationship he had with the Most High. Abraham, the relationship he had with the Most High. Those are the men we should be searching about, inquiring about. They will utter things out of their heart for our learning in these last days, so we can have the